Hey guys! Krzysztof the Polish Geek here, formerly known as the Polish Guy, and I have a list of my top 10 most anticipated movies of 2023. 2022 was actually a pretty good year for movies. We had some outstanding movies like Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio or The Northman, and in fact, I'm going to make a top 10 best movies of 2022 soon, as well as top 10 worst of 2022. Although those lists will be in the beginning of 2023, but now I have a list for you of my most anticipated movies of 2023, because there are actually plenty of movies that really interest me that are coming out. So here is the ones that I'm really most interested in. And also, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny is certainly not here. That's the movie nobody asked for. The trailer actually looked good, but I learned not to trust trailers. Plus, as I said, it's a movie nobody asked for, so it's absolutely not on this list. These are my top 10 most anticipated of 2023 movies that I'm most excited about and look forward to seeing. So, let's get to it. Coming in number 10, Cocaine Bear. Yeah, I only heard about this movie very recently actually, but I heard it's based on a true story, and it's about this bear on cocaine that runs wild around, and yeah, the concept sounds pretty interesting, and as I said, the fact it's based on a true story makes it even more fascinating to me. It's really interesting to see those events, how they turned out, and all of that. Plus on the trailer, the design of the bear was also pretty good. So, yeah, I'm really interested to see what this movie has in store for us. And at number 9, Shazam! Fury of the Gods. I really enjoyed the first Shazam movie. It's not really one of my favorite DCEU movies. I still prefer Zack Snyder's Justice League, Wonder Woman, or the second Suicide Squad, but I enjoyed Shazam a good amount. So, and the trailer for this new Shazam didn't look bad at all. So, I'm really interested what this movie has in store, especially that DC is doing much better than Marvel now, actually. I find it hard to be excited for any Marvel movie, with the exception of the one that's higher on this list, but generally I have a much harder time to be excited for any Marvel movie, but DC is still not doing that bad, even though Black Adam was underwhelming. So, Shazam! Fury of the Gods, here. Number 8. Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1. Yeah, I enjoy Mission Impossible movies. I think they're pretty good movies. And the last one, Fallout, was actually my favorite in the whole series. The action there was great, the visuals were really good, and the story was enjoyable. So yeah, but the story wasn't complete. It very much felt like there was going to be a sequel, and here we are. So, I'm really excited to see where this takes us next, especially as it's called Part 1, which means we're gonna get another one after it. But we'll see how this new Mission Impossible movie that's soon coming out will do. Number 7, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Yeah, I really enjoyed the first Into the Spider-Verse movie. I thought it was a really well done animated movie, and for a quite time it was my favorite Spider-Man movie, but recently I rewatched the Tobey Maguire trilogy and still feel this is still the best take on Spider-Man, but it doesn't change the fact that Into the Spider-Verse was still a very great movie. So, I'm excited where this sequel takes us, and I hope they keep the same writers because they have done a phenomenal job on the first movie. So, Across the Spider-Verse at number 7. And coming in number 6, and that's the Marvel movie I've been talking about that I'm still very hopeful for, is Guardians of the Galaxy 3. I loved both of the first two Guardians of the Galaxy movies. I am in the minority, but I actually prefer the second over the first, and I always felt their story wasn't complete. They still have to deal with the Sovereign and a Warlock, and I'm glad in this movie we'll finally see that. Plus, the trailer looked pretty good. Yeah, I know, don't always trust the trailers, but come on, it's James Gunn who's directing it. He directed the first two, plus the holiday special, which he proved himself again. So, I really think Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is in good hands. Which is why it's the only Marvel movie I'm still excited about and very hopeful for. Number 5. And that's the movie most of you might not know about. It's a French movie, and that's Asterix and Obelix, The Middle Kingdom. Asterix and Obelix is a famous French comic book franchise about it's a slapstick comic book about two Gauls fighting the Romans with plenty of pop culture references. It's a really great comic book, and I love the comic books, the animated movies, and even some of the live action movies. Especially the first one, Take on Caesar, and the second one, Mission Cleopatra, were pretty good, though the first one, Take on Caesar, is still my favorite. And honestly, I'm really excited for that. The only thing that makes me a little nervous is that Gerard Depardieu is not returning as Obelix, and he was phenomenal in the role. But then again, it's a reboot, so we'll see. Maybe the new actor who plays Obelix will prove himself to me. We will see. And in number 4, Oppenheimer. Yeah, I'm a huge Christopher Nolan fan. The Dark Knight trilogy is still one of my favorite trilogies ever. Possibly only my third favorite trilogy ever, after The Lord of the Rings and Star Wars original trilogy. And I also love Interstellar, Inception. I thought Tenet was pretty underrated. Yeah, it was convoluted at places, but I still thought it was a very great movie. I'm a huge Christopher Nolan fan, and honestly, I'm really excited for this new movie of his. And it's going to be a little different from his other movies because it's a biographical movie. But it's Christopher Nolan. I'm sure he will give his own take on a biographical movie. So, yeah, it's Christopher Nolan. Come on. Number 3. The Super Mario Bros. Movie. Yeah, I love Nintendo. I already did my list of favorite Super Nintendo games. And in general, I love Super Nintendo. And I love Mario. But my favorite Nintendo characters are Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong. And I know Donkey Kong is in this movie, which makes me even much more excited. And also, the trailer looked great. The animation looked fantastic. Plus, Nintendo is involved in making that. So they will certainly put a lot of care into it and make sure it doesn't get butchered. And as I said, it seems like there are lots of Nintendo characters making cameos. So yeah, it seems to me the movie is in good hands. And as I said, I love Nintendo, and the movie very much will likely embody the Nintendo spirit since Nintendo is involved. But as I said, the thing I'm most excited about is the fact that Donkey Kong, at least, will be in a movie. Because I love Donkey Kong and Mario. And at number 2, Dune Part 2. Yeah, I really like the first Dune movie, although I felt like there was not much payoff in the movie. It was very much a clear setup. It felt like the story was only beginning, actually. But at the same time, the next movie will be all about payoff. So, honestly, I won't be surprised if it will be much better than the first, because that's when the story finally truly begins. And honestly, it has a potential to be a movie of 2023. We will see, but my most anticipated movie of 2023 is Napoleon by Ridley Scott. I love Ridley Scott. He's one of my favorite directors, and he directed 2 of my favorite movies ever, Kingdom of Heaven and Gladiator. Yeah, when it comes to at least historical fiction, Ridley Scott is a master at it. So, Kingdom of Heaven, Gladiator, Robin Hood 2010, they all prove that. I thought The Last Duel wasn't as good as the other 3. It was still pretty good, but not as good as the other 3. But in general, Ridley Scott has proved himself to be a master at historical fiction. So, I think I have very high hopes for his Napoleon movie. I'm not expecting it to be maybe as great as Kingdom of Heaven or Gladiator, but if it delivers, it still has potential to be amazing and might compete with The Northman and Del Toro's Pinocchio as one of the best movies of the decade so far, but we will see. Okay guys, so there you have my top 10 most anticipated movies of 2023. I'm really looking forward to those movies, especially my top 4 actually. But yeah, I'm very hopeful at least 2 of them deliver, which will already be great. But what are your top 10 most anticipated movies of 2023? Are any of yours of these 2? Comment below, let me know, press the like button, please subscribe to this channel, and I'll talk to you soon in another video. Talk to you later, bye!